Welcome to another exciting class. Yay! Are you happy to be back to class? Okay, our topic today is on first aid and safety education. But today we're going to dwell on first aid. Now, what is first aid? First aid is the first treatment given to an injured person before going to the hospital. Can you say that again? First aid is the first treatment given to an injured person before going to the hospital. First aid can be given to accident victims, injured persons, and others. Now we have what is known as the first aider. Who is a first aider? The first aider is a person who is trained to give first aid. So the first aider treats the injured person or the accident victim. You can see in the picture the man holding the box and the two other first aiders. Okay, have you seen the first aid box before? Did you know the items found in a first aid box? Okay, this is how a first aid box looks like. First aiders make use of the first aid box when they want to treat injured persons. Now you can see the contents found in the first aid box. We have scissors and others. Now let's look at the contents one after the other. We have cotton wool, we have plaster, scissors, we have painkillers, we have iodine and all other materials or items. So don't forget, the first aid box is also called first aid kits. Okay, now let's look at some conditions that need first aid treatment. The first one we have here is fainting. Is what? Fainting. Now when the person faints, it occurs when the person loses consciousness all of a sudden. Now what do? You position the person on his or her back, then raise the person's leg above the heart level, then make sure you do not get the person up very quickly so that the person do not faint again. Then after that, you check the person's breathing. Now if the person is breathing, then you call the doctor or take the person to the hospital. Now the next we have is bleeding. And this is when one has a cut and the person tends to lose blood. Now the first thing you do is to tell an adult, then you wash the blood off that particular place. You apply iodine and then a clean pad, you press it with force to the point which is bleeding to stop the bleeding. Okay, now the next one is choking. Now choking could occur when the person is eating or drinking water. What you do is tap the person's back 5 times gently and calm the person down. The next we're going to look at is burns. How do you treat burns? One, take the person from the scene where the burns occurred. Then the next thing to do is get to a tap or running water and put that part until the pain reduces, when you do not feel as much pain as when the burn occurred. Okay, then do not apply cream or gel because it may increase the risk of infection. I hope you get that. The next we're looking at is electric shock. Now this is a result of touching electric switch with wet hands. Now children are not allowed to play with electricity. Okay, now when this occur, do not touch the person. You pull the person with the person's shirt, or you get a dry wood to touch the person. Okay, then also put the victim in an hairy place, so he can get some fresh air, then take the victim to the hospital immediately. The last condition we're going to talk about is suffocation. Suffocation happens when the person finds it difficult to breathe, whether the person might be in a place filled with smoke or lack of air. Now, to give first aid treatment to such a person who is suffocating, one, you have to remove the object that is causing the nose block. Then also put the person in an airy place and give artificial respiration. That's breathing into the mouth of the person. Okay, so now we'll look at some interactive questions before we go. The first one here says the image which the arrow points at is a dash. A, doctor. B, first aider. C, mechanic. Can you guess the answer? You should know it. Okay, the answer is B, the first aider. Now the second one says dash can be found in a first aid kit. A, pillow. B, dogs. And C, iodine. What do you think is the answer? Okay, the answer is C, iodine. Iodine can be found in the first aid kit. Okay, thanks for watching to the end. Bye for now. See you in the next class.